Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Movie Podcast. I am Luke, and I am joined by
Anna.
And it's been a minute.
A long time.
We're back.
Yeah.
And we're back weekly through the end of October.
Woohoo!
And then we'll be back on our regular bi-weekly schedule. But yeah, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
We've watched a lot.
Yeah, lots of movies have been watched in that while.
It's been so long that we're ready for another update on how many movies we've watched this year.
Oopsie.
And I already know, I actually don't know the exact number, but I know I'm losing, like, pretty bad.
Uh-oh. Not pretty bad. It's not
Since
that bad.
I'm losing, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm at 95. Yeah.
It's not that bad.
What are you at?
I'm at 106. That's only...
Oh, it's only 11.
Yeah, it's only 11.
Okay.
That's not that bad.
You're right. It's not that bad.
I think when we sent each other our list to prepare for this episode, it was like 15 or 16, which looked scarier.
Oh, was it wrong?
No, it wasn't. It was not incorrect, I don't believe. But I think that you've watched.
Oh, I
movies
have.
then.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was in the 80s when we sent the list.
Yeah.
So I have watched quite a few.
Yeah.
We've watched too many movies to go over all of them individually, but let's go over the highlights because I watched some stuff that I want to cover real quick. We watched The Babadook.
Yeah, we
for
did.
the first time both,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
Right.
That's definitely one of the big gaps that we've been missing out on.
Absolutely. I feel like The Babadook has gained so much popularity in recent years.
Yeah.
Like
I
I had never heard about it until like a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's definitely on like a lot of best of lists that I've
totally.
looked at. I think it was a little overrated.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that there's a really like psychological element to it, and it has a lot of representation, and when you could like do a deep dive into it and discuss, the fact that like the Babadook isn't really a monster, but it's really kind of a monster inside of a person because it's supposed to represent, the mom's depression and blah, 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 blah.
Spoiler alert for the Babadook.
Yeah, sorry, but like, I think you could like deep dive into that. That is fascinating to me. However, aside from that fact, I just think the movie is probably overrated.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe one of the reasons that it didn't feel super fresh to me is that I had just watched Boogeyman. Which have you seen that?
I still haven't seen Boogeyman.
They do some kind of similar things in Boogeyman.
It's funny because you say like that you just watched the Boogeyman, so the Babadook doesn't feel like
right.
It's
exactly.
funny because the Babadook is way older.
Should be a knock on the Boogeyman.
Yeah, and
not
it's
Babadook.
unfortunate that it happened in that order.
But I think one of the things that makes a horror movie great is it doesn't feel that way when you rewatch it.
Yeah, totally.
Like the Babadook felt a little just like, I don't know, I've seen it all.
Like
which
generic,
I will say that does kind of depend on when you watch it. And I think if I would have watched it when it came out in 2014, it definitely was like a refreshing take on the haunted house. And it was good, as opposed to most haunted house movies around that time. So I think that's a little unfortunate for the movie, but hindsight, I can still enjoy it. I think I still liked the movie. It just, I slightly overrated. I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah. I have no idea what I gave it. I probably gave it something similar, 3 or 3.5.
You gave it a 4.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the kind of mental aspect of it, and after I watched the movie, I kind of sat there for a second and thought about it and thought about like what does all of this mean? Because right when it ended, I was like, okay, I like it's a good movie. I just don't get the hype. But then I started really thinking about it, and I was like, oh, and like the ending of the movie, I think just fits so perfectly with that idea of the monster really being a monster inside of a person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think that's one of the things that people love about it so much. Yeah. I watched Knock at the Cabin,
I did too.
which I was expecting to be terrible because I
Yeah.
had just heard really bad things about it.
Yeah.
And if you've listened to the podcast, you know I am not a Shyamalan fan.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I'll probably never watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Just like all M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Right.
I really struggle to watch big twist movies
Oh yeah, totally.
over again because it's like the whole point of the movie is you're trying to figure out the twist.
Yeah.
And once you know the twist, it's like, well, I don't.
Okie dokie.
I mean, sometimes one rewatch is good because then you can see all the hints to the twist. But with some of Shyamalan stuff, there is no hints.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
far out of left field.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So,
Yeah.
and this one didn't have the big twist.
It sort of did. It kind of like we had this whole thing going on where this is a bit of a spoiler warning for Knock at the Cabin. We had this whole thing going on where it's kind of like, these intruders come into this Airbnb or whatever, and they're like, you need to choose someone to kill, otherwise we're gonna kill ourselves. And if you don't choose someone to kill, then the world's gonna like
Right.
And the people watching this, I'm like, these people are insane. Like what is going on? Like I don't understand. What, like, how could they? And as the movie's going on, I'm like sitting there and I see like one of the family members kind of like starting to believe it, and I'm like, you're crazy. Like you can't believe what they're saying.
I don't, at least for me, eventually I was starting to think that they're not insane.
I thought? I was thinking like they're insane, and if this has the twist where it's like they're not insane and this whole thing is like really happening, I'm gonna be mad. And you know what I felt? Mad.
Yeah.
Because I did not enjoy that movie, to be honest. I also watched that movie for Rupert Grint, and he was not in it as much as I hoped. So
yeah, I think the reason I liked the movie is because the big twist that you were expecting was that they are insane, but that never comes. Like they never lie to you. They tell you everything up front. And I think just going into it knowing that it was a Shyamalan movie, I was expecting the movie ruining twist for me, and that just didn't happen. And I think that just like left a good taste in my mouth with the ending.
Yeah, I get that.
I also watched Prom Night 2008. I loved that movie.
That movie's so
it's
good.
not a good movie, but I enjoyed all of it.
It's so good. That is one of my favorite horror movies.
It stars Idris Elba.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Like what?
What is going
on? It's so good.
Yeah.
I watched Talk to Me, which was great.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
In the running for best horror movie of the year.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And it's been a fairly decent year for horror. I mean, we got Scream 6. We got Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
But I think it is in the running for best horror movie of the year.
I want to say a movie that I watched.
Oh, go ahead.
I watched Bones and All, which was an experience. Have you heard of Bones and All? It stars Timothée Chalamet. And,
I've heard of this.
I don't remember the other actress's name, but she did really well. It was
not well enough, apparently.
No, the movie was just like, bleh. It made me like, I was just like, what is going on? And then once you find out like why the movie is named what it is, it just gets so much worse. And it's like, it's so awful because there's parts of the movie where I'm like, this is actually a really beautiful movie. Like the way the scenes were shot and like the cinematography and the colors and everything. I'm like, wow, this is actually a beautiful movie. And then I remember what it's about and I'm like, Maybe I shouldn't think this is a beautiful movie, but it was an experience. And when I first heard about it, I didn't think that it was a horror movie. Like, I thought it was just a romance.
Yeah.
But it is, in fact, a horror movie. But it's not really that scary. Like, there's not any parts that are scary to me. There's just...
Is it just, like, disturbing?
That's not true. There are parts that are scary, but they're not scary for the reasons they should be scary. They're not scary because of the way what the movie is about. They're scary for separate reasons, which you'll understand if you watch it.
Sure.
But yeah, it was just kind of like I didn't feel scared at any point. I did feel like uncomfortable at some points, but I just was like, this isn't a horror movie. Like, it felt like a drama almost to me.
Yeah.
But because of what the subject matter is, it has to be a horror movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's not really another genre for it.
Is it worth watching?
Yes. I would say give it a watch. Especially if you're a fan of cinematography. However, it is yucky. So be warned by that.
Maybe look it up if you don't like yucky movies
That's
first.
true. Maybe do.
I watched Stepfather, 1987, the original one, which I'd seen the remake, and I remember liking it, but it's been a while since I've seen it. But it was good, definitely worth a watch.
I thought that movie was a comedy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's not.
Okay.
I watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie I was pleasantly surprised with.
I've wanted to see that for a while.
I thought it was going to be horrible.
Really?
Yeah, like everyone I heard talk about it had nothing good to say about it.
Oh.
They just kind of said that it was a letdown. So I went into it with really low expectations. You really got to avoid spoilers for the movie. Like, so, and if you don't, I think it could totally ruin it. But it was a fun movie. I rewatched Fear Street, all three of them. I watched Creep and Creep 2, which I know you did as well.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah. They were like kind of different. Like, they weren't. It didn't feel like Creep 2 was a sequel to me. It just felt like it was like a separate movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And then I watched the Saw franchise.
Yeah, same girl.
Which we'll talk about Saw in a minute. Do you want to go over anything else on your list?
Yeah, I just want to say I watched a few that I wanted to just mention. I watched There's Something Wrong with the Children, which I actually quite liked. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
I really honestly liked it. If you've been around the podcast for a bit, you know I don't typically like movies that involve children, like horror movies that involve children, but this one I quite liked, and it was actually really good. And then I also watched The Perfection, and I only want to mention this
I haven't heard of
because again, if you've been around the podcast for a bit, you know that I cannot handle any vomiting, and in the first 30 minutes there's like 10 vomiting scenes, and I watched the movie. That's still so much. It makes sense when you watch the movie. Okay. Like, just me saying that, it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would a movie need that? But when you watch the movie, it's like, oh, okay. But yes, those are the ones I wanted to mention. Oh, one more. Okay. I also watched The Collector, and it just felt so unnecessary to me.
Yeah, that movie is, like, people complain about Saw.
Yeah.
Being just.
After watching, because I watched The Collector after I watched all the Saw ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
It's so much worse.
Yeah, it is.
I turned that movie on at work one day, when I was working at a call center. I would find just strange ways to watch movies. Apparently you can watch movies on Google Docs. Don't know why you can do that. So I would just like Google blank, blank, blank horror movie, Google Docs link. And they would come up and I would click on them and, hopefully nothing happened to the computer.
Yeah.
IT never got mad at me for it. But I turned the collector on and I was like, I've got to shut this off. Like, this is,
it's just
I
so
shouldn't be watching
unnecessary.
horror movies at work, but like, this is like another level.
Why does that movie exist? There's like no purpose. There's no point. I was going to watch the second one and I'm still going to at some point.
Yeah.
But I just was like, why is there a second one? Why is there a
it worth
first
going
one?
Back to finish? No.
It's not. It's just like, okay,
Yeah.
that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about Saw.
Okay.
You had been watching the Saw movies.
Yeah.
And you told me that you had been really enjoying them, which was just like such a surprise to me. It just doesn't seem like your kind of franchise, So I remembered we're getting a new Saw movie this week. It's probably out already, the date of the podcast. So I want to go see that in theaters. So I figured I'd watch the franchise, and I was surprised how not bad it is.
I know
I don't think there's a lot of good,
right?
But it wasn't bad.
Yeah, people give this franchise so much crap. I thought it was going to be like extremely grotesque and like just disgusting and just gore for the sake of gore, but it like all makes sense.
Really not.
Yeah.
That's what The Collector is.
Yes.
People complain about Saw, and if you go look at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, the reviews for these movies are horrible.
Yeah.
And I was reading some of the reviews, and it's just a bunch of like, this is so unnecessary and gross, like this is evil, how could anyone enjoy this? And it's like, were these written by like church moms from the late 90s? Like, I'm so confused by the aversion to them. Yeah, they're gross. Some of them are hard to watch. Some of the people definitely don't deserve the traps that they get put into. But the entire like premise behind the killer, you can actually almost connect with it and see where Jigsaw's coming from and why he's doing these things.
Because no one likes bad people. Yeah.
Right. But it's just not, it's not as just grotesque as I expected them to be. I mean, some of it's pretty gross. And
totally.
Like, there's definitely some traps that are hard to watch. But,
yeah.
The highest rated one that I have is 3.5, and I have the original Saw at 3.5.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have rated one of them 4 stars.
You gave Saw 4 stars.
Yeah, I really liked Saw 4.
Which I gave 2.5.
I think I like that's quite funny. I really like. I don't know. I get really into like storylines and such.
Yeah.
And so if a movie has a storyline that I like, I just like have to binge watch the franchise.
My least favorite thing that the Saw franchise does is play around with the timeline.
Yeah. And
they don't tell you they're playing around with the timeline, and they use that to be the big twist. And I don't like that. And they did that in Saw 4, and I think that was the worst part of the movie.
That's what I liked about Saw 4.
Which I can understand but I just wish that it wasn't so, I don't know. It just feels like they're misleading you for the sake of misleading you.
Totally. And it's almost like they're running out of things, but they want to keep cranking out the movies.
Right.
So they're like, well, we could go back and do this and add this.
Yeah, it just feels kind of lazy because they wrote in the end of... So, lots of spoilers for the Saw franchise. If you want to watch them and you don't want spoilers, stop now. In Saw 3, at the end of the movie, last chance, Jigsaw dies.
Yeah.
And then in Saw 4, Jigsaw's around.
Oh my gosh.
So we're like trying to... So we know that it's before the end of Saw 3.
Yeah.
But, well, actually, sorry, Jigsaw isn't around in Saw 4. The Saw 4 opens with Jigsaw's autopsy. And so you think that this is a direct sequel to Saw 3. It's at Jigsaw's autopsy. Yeah. And then the first scene is like the cold open almost.
Yeah, totally.
And then that in the timeline takes place at the very end of the movie.
That confused me a lot.
Right, which I didn't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, why? What was the point of doing that?
Yeah.
Because then Jigsaw pops up later, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah,
And
right.
it's like, Saw 4 was really happening at the same time as Saw 3. Like, what?
And it
Why?
almost,
Why?
happened, I was like, so he's not dead? I was like,
I was like, wait a second. I watched these movies back to back.
Yeah.
I watched Saw 3 and then I watched Saw 4.
Yeah.
And I was so confused by the timeline.
Right.
And the most egregious Saw movies for the timeline were Saw 4 and Jigsaw.
Yeah, totally.
Jigsaw did the same.
Yeah.
Funny story about Jigsaw. So I watched Saw, and then a couple days later I watched Saw 2, and then Amazon popped up with like, watch next. And it should be Saw 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw 3 lines. Apparently what I saw was a W, not a 3.
Yeah.
And I watched Jigsaw thinking it was Saw 3.
Yeah.
And I did not figure it out until over halfway through the movie.
Well, it's like so confusing because Jigsaw is like 3D, but like that's the 3D movie.
No, it's the one after the 3D movie.
What?
Yeah, Saw 3D came out in 2010, and Jigsaw comes out in 2017.
Oh my gosh, I might not have watched one of them then because
You watched Jigsaw.
Yeah.
You rated it at least.
Yeah.
The only one you haven't rated is Spiral
That's
from
what I
the Book
thought.
of Saw.
But when I was like trying to figure out what movie came next, I was like, is it the 3D one or is it Jigsaw? And when I like could not figure it out, and then I finally found one that said Jigsaw, and then it's like Saw in 3D or something like that on the cover. So I don't know. I have nothing else to say about that.
The other
but
thing that was confusing about it is there's unrated ones.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time finding the
I
unrated
did watch
ones.
some of the unrated
So did
ones.
I. I didn't know those have, which this makes sense, but I didn't know that they have different like letterboxed listings.
Yeah.
So I don't know which unrated ones I watched.
Yeah. Oops.
But I like, and even I saw the title screen. It said Jigsaw, and I didn't realize there was a movie called Jigsaw.
That's so
I'm like, why does it say Jigsaw? That's weird. Like, and then there was a character that, for one, I was super impressed with the production value. I was like, man, they got a big budget increase because I was watching a movie 2005 2017 jump, skipped everything in the middle. This was the right movie to do that with because it doesn't affect any of the other storylines in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, it was.
You know what I did not like about the franchise? This is like the only thing that makes me like really upset. Is so it was like Jigsaw, and then he has his apprentice, right?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, Alice or whatever.
Amanda.
And then all of a sudden it's like, there was a third one the whole time.
And then in Jigsaw, there was a fourth one. Like, they kept adding, like, Jigsaw apprentices. Like, it felt so cookie cutter. It felt very, like, the same storyline over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I think they really had something with the franchise. And I think they just took it the easy way out. I don't think they knew what to do after Saw 3 with killing Jigsaw, and I don't think they wanted to carry on with Amanda being Jigsaw.
Yeah.
So,
which kind of sucks. I kind of liked Amanda, to be honest.
So did I.
Justice for Amanda.
Yeah, I did like Amanda. I liked Amanda a lot more than the cop apprentice.
Oh my gosh. I can't stand him. Every time he was on screen, I was like, leave. Get out of here.
Oh my gosh. Saw 3 was so confusing because there's an FBI agent and a detective, and they look almost identical to each other.
They don't look identical.
They don't, like, if you put them side by side together, they don't. But in a movie that is mostly dominated by dark scenes, and they're both cops,
I get
and
what
they're
you're
both black
saying.
hair, like, I was confused jumping back and forth between
I think
them.
I had a good time differentiating because the FBI guy, I'm pretty sure, if I'm thinking of the right guy.
The FBI one is Jigsaw's apprentice.
No, the other one,
the detective,
is from Gilmore Girls, and so I love him.
Yeah, and I had never seen either of those guys in anything before, so it was just
That's
kinda
probably why it was
confusing,
easier
but,
for me.
yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed Saw. I will
did
say,
too.
Spiral from
I
the
did
Book
not
of
see
Saw.
that one.
What a strange name. I won't spoil anything for it, but
Okay.
like that doesn't make. I don't understand the name at all.
Yeah.
Was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, it
Is
was
it
really
connected to the
refreshing.
storyline? Because I was trying to figure out if I should watch it, and I saw a lot of people saying that it's like it's not even the same franchise.
It doesn't feel like the same franchise at all.
Okay.
It feels like a cop movie,
Oh.
which some of the other ones do too.
Yeah.
But they're so heavily dominated by saw traps. This movie stars Chris Rock,
Oh, that's
which I
interesting.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Surprised how well he did.
Really?
Yes. I don't think I've ever seen Chris Rock in a serious role in a movie.
Yeah, that's what I was
he,
just trying to think
is
about.
always a comedian
Yeah.
in movies. It also has Samuel L. Jackson in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, if I would have known this, I probably would have watched the movie when it came out. It takes place after all the other Saw movies. It has nothing to do with Jigsaw, thankfully. Jigsaw. Ugh. I don't know if it'll have anything to do with Saw 10 or Saw X, but it is worth a watch.
Okay.
There's some things that I really don't like about it. One of them being, this is sort of a spoiler, but not really.
Okay,
I think
fine.
it'll prepare you. There's a new voice. It's not Jigsaw's voice. It's completely new.
I don't really care about
It's
Jigsaw's
horrible.
voice, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's horrible.
Oh.
I don't
It's not
like it doesn't need to be
me-
Jigsaw's voice, but they were like, Jigsaw's voice is like low and masculine. So let's just do the opposite. And it's
really?
like,
Is it
it's
kind
like
of like
feminine and like sort of low, but also kind of high. It's really confusing. It's not good.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't like the voice at all. And every time the voice came on, I was like, I hate this. But I really enjoyed the movie. It's funny because I don't necessarily love how like grotesque the traps are, but they completely skip out on that in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they're still grotesque and they're still there, but it almost felt like, you know when you watch a PG-13 horror movie and you're like, oh, clearly I'm actually double checking the rating. There's no way this is PG-13. And apparently I don't know how to check the rating. So I'm not going to.
Okay.
But it kind of felt like that. It kind of felt like, oh, we're cutting away here because it's PG-13. So and that like made me mad too. It's worth a watch. You should watch it before we see Saw 10.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Saw 10. I haven't seen any previews. Don't want to know anything.
I didn't even realize it was coming out. Like you
I feel
told
like
me.
it's been marketed pretty poorly.
We've had conversations, like 2 or 3 conversations recently, where I've been like, I haven't seen the most recent Saw movie, and you're like, that's because it's not out yet, and I keep forgetting because I keep thinking it's like
because you haven't seen Spiral yet. Is what you mean?
No, I keep thinking that Saw X is like has been out for a long time.
Yeah. No, it's September 29th is release date.
Yeah.
So
coming up.
Yeah, that was Saw.
Yeah.
Should we get into our main event?
Let's get into the main event.
I'm so excited. So you probably know this just based off the title, but we are doing October's 31 and 31 again.
Yeah.
Watching 31 horror movies in 31 days. Now I say again, but we were not recording the podcast when we did this last year.
Also, I would like to point out, I jumped on the bandwagon late. It was like October 5th when I jumped on it, and I completed the 31 and 31, and you did not.
I was 3 movies short,
Ooh.
and I would like to point out, I rewatched several movies with you during that time that I did not count towards my 31. So I actually watched more horror movies than 31, but I didn't complete my list.
We're done talking about this.
Oh, okay. But what we're doing this time, that's actually what caused us to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about it. We were talking about horror movies all the time because we were watching one a day, basically. And then we were like, why are we not recording this?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited for this. What we're going to do is we're going to pick it like draft style, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to pick one. I'm going to pick one. And then we will either order the list at the end of the podcast, or we'll just put out a list when it's over. So if we don't give you the order we're watching them in at the end, just check our Letterboxd accounts. You can either check the Horror Movie Podcast Letterboxd, which is, it's got a weird name. It's THM Podcast. Or you can check mine, Plays at Night, or yours, which is just,
I think it's just Anna Bookamer.
yeah, that's right. So with the first pick, Anna should take it because she is in the lead
Really?
on the competition. So I think you should
No,
take the first
here's the deal. I would do that, but I really want to watch my first one and my second one back to back.
That's
So
fine. We can order them. Let's pick our 31 movies,
Okay.
and then we'll order them at the end, so we can put those back to back.
Okay.
Also, it doesn't you don't necessarily need to watch them every single, like, in a specific order. We just need to watch those 7 movies before we record,
true.
because we're gonna do
sense.
weekly, and that's what we're gonna talk about. But
So true.
yeah, I think you should get the first pick.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Hey. My pick for the first movie, I'm coming in strong with this one. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. I'm kind of like trying to leave the first view just kind of like easing us, I should say, into like the festivities, and then I'm gonna like really go into it. But like the first one kind of comes in strong, and the rest are kind of like, ooh, pulling it back a little bit.
Okay.
So the first one is The Shining.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not watched that. Oh, we have a rule. Let's cover our rule real quick. So we can only have a total of 6 rewatches from our list this year or our list last year. Which now I'm concerned I didn't tell you about. Did you check my 31 and 31 list last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so The Shining is a rewatch because it was on my list last year. So we're taking 3 each. You get 3 rewatches. I get 3 rewatches. So that's your first rewatch with The Shining. I like it.
Thank you.
With my first pick, I am taking Rosemary's Baby.
I've never even heard of that.
Have you not?
No.
It's also one of the, like, if you go look up a list right now, best horror movies of all time, it's on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
How have I not heard of it?
I don't know. It's an older
you're
movie.
Pulling my leg. It's not one of the best of all time.
No, it is. It has a crazy
You know what else
good
is on
rating.
that list? That Scooby-Doo movie.
So when I was looking through your list, I noticed that there was a movie on it that I had seen that I forgot to add to my list. And it was Scooby-Doo Zombie Island or whatever. Yes. And I found that on Letterboxd top 250 horror movies. It's like 101 or something like that, which I absolutely love. And it is technically a horror movie.
Yes, which is so goofy.
And it's a good movie.
It is. I love that movie.
At some point we're going to
ham for Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, at some point we're going to do horror movies for kids, and that's got to be number 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, I'm excited for Rosemary's Baby. You'll see kind of a theme on my list. I picked a lot of stuff I've never seen before. We also don't know what each other's lists are.
Yeah.
So we have some backup choices in case we picked the same ones. But so far, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
And with the third pick, we get
Dr. Sleep. The
Makes
sequel
sense.
to The Shining, which I'm also reading the book right now. I have about 80 pages left of the book. So I'm very excited.
Nice.
Yes.
Have you haven't seen it, right?
I have not. I'm saving it for when I'm done with the book. I know, I'm kind of, it has like really good reviews, but I'm kind of feeling worried because it's the sequel to The Shining. I love The Shining. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite books. The book so far has been kind of like,
really?
Yeah, I love Stephen King. I love his writing. This book feels very The Institute Ish to me, which is another book of his.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, which I love The Institute. So I love this book, but it's just, it doesn't feel really like a sequel to The Shining to me.
That's kind of what I've heard about the movie.
Yeah.
But it stars Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Which
is great.
You know, I'm all over.
Yeah.
So, all right. With the 4th pick, I'm taking Alien. Is it on your list?
I think that is, oh, you know what? That's one of my backups, I think.
Oh, okay.
Slay!
All right. So we haven't got there yet.
Yeah.
Never seen Alien?
Yeah. We both haven't.
It's time.
Yeah.
We gotta
is
see
time.
Alien.
How have we not?
So.
Yeah. Okay. This is where my list starts to get a little goofy, a little funny and silly. Scary Movie 2.
Oh, I haven't seen Scary Movie 1.
Have you not?
No.
I would have done Scary Movie 1, but I have already watched it this year.
That's fine. Scary Movie 2.
Okay.
All right.
Woohoo!
When you said silly and goofy, I was like expecting Hocus Pocus. But no, we're going like Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a Scary Movie hat, even though I've never seen it.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's
Yes!
Ghostface, but it's the Ghostface from Scary Movie.
That's funny. Yeah,
So,
I love it.
Yeah, okay, silly goofy. This movie is so far from the other side. This is why we have to order them after
absolutely.
we do this, because there's no way we could watch them in this order. Yeah. Because I chose a 20s silent film.
Okay.
We're watching Nosferatu.
Oh, I picked that one. I have wanted to watch Nosferatu for so long.
Yeah, same.
Like, you've seen it, right?
No, I haven't.
What?
I've never seen it. Yeah, that's kind of the theme I've been going. I'm trying to hit the big ones.
Me too. Oh no, we're gonna have so many repeats.
Yeah, we might. I only have a few more like that on here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm so excited. I feel so giddy.
I really hope I like it.
Me too.
I would love to love this movie.
Right.
You know? Like
I feel like you're not gonna like it.
Liking this movie.
You're not gonna like it.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm gonna be so into it, and you're gonna hate it.
I mean, I guess we'll see.
Maybe it'll flip.
We'll see.
Maybe we'll surprise ourselves.
Maybe you'll hate it.
Yeah. My next pick is Scary Movie 3.
For real?
The rest of the list is just Scary Movie.
No Scary Movie? Oh, it's all Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. Not much else to say about that. So we've both picked 3, right?
I've
picked 4.
I've done 4.
So this is pick number 8.
Yeah.
Which I'm giving to Candyman, 1992.
I almost did that one, but I didn't.
Another one that I just like. I've almost watched this movie so many times.
Yeah.
The amount of times I have seen it, like I've been looking for horror movies and I've seen Candyman pop up. And I was gonna watch it when they did the new one.
Yeah, right.
And then I just didn't.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't in theaters anymore, so I didn't like feel the need to do.
Yeah, totally.
Catching up, Candyman. It's October, it's Halloween, candy. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about
Candy.
it, but it's called Candyman, so you know.
So it must be filled with Halloween joy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, my next pick, which is pick number 9, is The Final Girls. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, I do. I didn't wait. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I almost watched it.
I figured it would be a little silly goofy, like kind of like prom night-esque.
It does seem like it a little bit.
You know, I don't know anything about it, but I was like, this is a good way to ease into it. And I'm sure it's not very Halloween-y, but it's like
probably not.
It is a horror movie.
I will say the thing that I'm bummed the most about my list is I don't have a lot of Halloween.
Yeah. I tried to just make mine like things that felt like to me felt very Halloween-y, and I haven't seen a lot of them, but from what I know about them, you know, like the classics and stuff, I feel like Halloween is a time for like classic horror movies, or you know, kind of like when Christmas comes around, it's like you don't watch the movies because they're good, you watch the movies because they make you happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did this year too, because last year I went heavy on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like I watched like 4 or 5 actual Halloween titled movies. because I watched the 3 new ones,
Mm-hmm.
and then I watched the original, so I guess just 4.
Yeah.
But basically every single movie took place on Halloween or was in fall. So I kind of went really heavy on that last year. So I figured let's get some classics in here. And we also, I don't know if you noticed this,
Mm-hmm.
we have a Friday the 13th in
I know.
October.
That's true.
I've been very vocal about this franchise.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. That might not have got posted because we recorded an episode that I haven't posted.
No, Friday the 13th, we've posted that
No,
one.
but when I watched part 3 and part 4.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
you're
know
right.
if I talked about
I don't
that.
think, yeah.
I'll double check. If we haven't, I might have to post that.
Mm-hmm.
The camera just made a noise,
Yeah, it
and
did.
I was so concerned.
We both were like, "Oh, what is that?"
So I, again, kind of hate the franchise.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to pick a Friday the 13th
But it's Friday
movie.
the other day.
So I went with Freddy versus Jason.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank God.
Have you seen it?
No.
And I didn't want to pick Friday the 13th
Have
because
you seen? Wait, have you seen it?
I saw it a long time ago. I didn't want to pick Friday the 13th because it would be a rewatch for us this year,
Yeah.
and I have better movies to rewatch.
Yeah, totally.
Not I like the original Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I do, but I mean you'll get it when I get to rewatch it.
Yeah,
So.
totally. My next one is kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting away from silly goofy, but it's still silly goofy. It's like silly goofy mid, like in the middle.
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's
I love
some silly
Little
goofy.
Shop of
I've never seen
Horrors.
it before.
Have you not?
No.
The musical is fantastic. I've seen it like 3 times.
Really?
I'm
Is that
obsessed.
what we're watching?
No, I don't
Okay,
think. I
thank you.
actually don't know if the movie's a musical. If it is, I will love it, and you will not. But it'll be good.
What pick was that? Number 11?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, number 11.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We've been doing some silly stuff, so let's go into the deep end of not silly. We're gonna watch Black Swan.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Do you know anything about it?
I know a tiny bit about it, and it sounds like I'll like it.
Yeah. All I know about it is that dancing is involved, and Natalie Portman's in it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really like it.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like I hear people that don't like horror movies talk about liking that movie.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about it at all, so I'm excited for it. That was pick number 12.
13 shall be.
Oh, we should have waited for the Friday the 13th
you're
for
right.
pick 13.
Oh, darn.
Shucks.
13 shall be. You're going to be so mad at me for this. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I almost picked that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you
Just
would.
because
thought you were gonna be
I've
mad.
never seen it before.
Yeah.
It does take place on Halloween. Or right around Halloween.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because
I've only seen the Glee episode about it.
I was looking up horror movies that take place on Halloween, and that was one of them.
Okay.
I don't know if I like this movie, but I feel like it's a must watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next, I have Poltergeist.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Very nice.
I've been wanting to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I have seen it a while ago.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about seeing, like, you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it this year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count. It's not a rewatch.
So
It wasn't on my list last year. But that's another classic horror movie. I feel like I have one. No, okay. I have a few more. I don't know if classic's the right word, but I have a few more like iconic ones on the list. That was pick number 14.
Yeah, I think so.
So pick number 15, halfway through, we have...
Salem's Lot, 1979.
Oh, okay.
I love that book.
Have you seen the movie?
I have not. I love that book, though. If the movie disappoints me, I'm going to cry. I'm going to write
Right.
Stephen King. I don't know if he's involved with the movie.
Gotta say, like, early Stephen King movies
Don't.
aren't that
Stop.
great. Aren't that great.
Well, this is 1979 too,
Yeah.
which is like
Like Children of the Corn. Children of the Corn
you
wasn't
better
bad.
stop.
It's not
I
bad.
love that movie.
But it's not, I don't know.
I'm canceling you. You're
okay.
canceled.
I don't.
Canceled.
Sorry. Don't know what to say.
I love that movie.
Okay, my bad. I'll stop. I mean, I guess The Shining's pretty early.
Yeah.
The Shining's 1980.
No. I think it's like late 80s. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's 1980.
Is it really?
I think so.
Oh, you might be right because now I'm thinking about the way the hotel looks and everything. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
Did we even talk about our new set?
No.
We didn't say a thing about it.
Yeah.
We have a new set.
Yay.
In case you just noticed.
This is our new set.
Look at it. Isn't it? I love it. I love it so much. It's so 70s.
It's giving
It's
70s.
wonderful. Look at it. And we brought our stuff up from our shelves and look at the lava lamp.
It's going bloop, bloop, bloop.
The goo's moving.
The
When I
goo's
first got
moving.
it wasn't moving. So
Yeah.
I
Got that goo moving.
Annabelle looks amazing up here.
Yeah, she does. Work, Annabelle.
So
Work.
it's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
This is a little crooked if you can tell, so we got to fix that. But I'm so excited. I think it looks so good.
It looks fantastic.
The wood paneling is
so good.
so ugly.
It is.
But it's so perfect.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Sorry to just derail that.
Yeah.
But I just looked over and I saw
Remembered,
the set and
yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
You got a little giddy in you.
So we just picked Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with The Omen.
I do not know what that is.
It's a, I believe, 1970s horror movie.
Okay.
Cool. I think it's like a haunted kid movie. Like the kid is the haunted thing.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that it is considered a very good horror movie. It semi-recently had a remake. So yeah.
Interesting.
It's kind of hard to talk about the ones that I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
and
right.
I don't want to know anything about them because I haven't seen them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, really, we're just picking a list. We'll do a deep dive into all of these.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once we actually watch them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. My next pick, which shall be pick 17, is Dracula, 1931.
Oh, okay. I almost picked this one too.
Oh,
we might have to go Nosferatu, Dracula back to back.
Oh,
like
that's
back to back
true.
days.
Yes.
Put them on the list together.
That's true.
Yeah, but
that would be good.
I came really close to picking it. I didn't pick it because I put Nosferatu on there.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
No, I'm reading the book right now.
Oh, that one? The Stoker one?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Dracula books.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to find like which Dracula book is.
Right, and they all have like
Stoker
similar
is newer,
lore.
isn't it?
No.
Is it the old one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure that edition is new.
Well,
but...
yeah. I mean, it definitely looks newer.
Yes.
But.
Yes.
Okay. Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Let's knock out my theater picks because we've got 2 horror movies coming out this month that I want to see in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
With The Exorcist Believer.
Okay.
So have you seen The Exorcist?
I think so.
You have?
I think so. Maybe not. I don't remember. They all kind of blend together for me.
This was originally supposed to be a remake, and it turned into a direct sequel.
Wow.
Like 50 years later. So not really sure how that happened, but I want to be excited for it.
Yeah.
I really do. I rewatched The Exorcist this year. I liked it a lot. So I really want to be excited for this, but I'm skeptical.
Totally.
I hope it's good, but gotta see a couple of horror movies in theaters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I agree.
I have one more theater movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My next pick, which will be pick 19, is Halloween.
Oh, so we've got another rewatch.
Yeah.
This is your second rewatch pick.
It is.
Well, that's perfect because my next pick, I'll skip my theater one, is Halloween 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because Halloween 2 is a direct sequel.
Yeah.
Like, like it picks up on the last frame of Halloween.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun like double feature to do.
I don't think I've seen Halloween 2.
Neither have I. But I'm glad Halloween made the list. I didn't want to pick it with my rewatch. I've got some that I'm pretty excited for my rewatches. So, that was your second rewatch. So we have one more.
Yeah.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Nope.
Because I just picked Halloween 2.
Oh, so true. My next one is Frankenstein 1931.
Okay. So we got quite a few like classic movies.
I'm just feeling the movies that feel like Halloween, like the old ones that are just so like you watch, like if someone says Frankenstein, you automatically think like spooky, cozy fall vibes,
The horror movies that are on in the horror movies that we watch.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Because they're so old, they're royalty free.
Yeah. Well, and we haven't seen so many classics.
Yeah,
it's like if we're gonna have a horror movie podcast, we need to see the classics.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, but I would really love to do like horror through the decades and do a series on that where we go back and we watch the stuff. So it'll be nice to have seen some of it.
Yeah,
once
totally.
We finally get there, but. My next pick is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
It comes out at the end of the month. I think it's like October 29th.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a Willy's Wonderland ripoff, except for the fact that Willy's Wonderland is a ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's.
You know what?
But they beat them to the punch with the movie.
They did.
So.
I am so excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. Like I can't
Are
express.
You really?
I'm so excited.
Are you a fan
love
of
Josh
the
Hutcherson
franchise?
Of like the games?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Have you played them?
No, I've watched every single one though.
Markiplier.
Yes, I love Markiplier. Shout out to you, Markiplier.
Well, I mean, we know you're watching.
Yeah, we know. I know you're watching back there. But yeah, I'm really excited. I love Josh Hutcherson. I love Five Nights at Freddy's. I need to play it, but who's that other guy that's in it? Some other guy's in it that's like really famous.
I don't know anything about it.
Some other guy's really famous, or some other human in it is really famous. And I'm just excited to see it.
Same.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to go see in theaters together. Yeah. Where are we at? I've lost count so many times. I've picked 11. So you're picking number 12. Your 12th one right now. So we're at 23.
23, yes.
So this is pick number 23.
This is pick number 23.
So we have a few more to go.
So I think I may have miscounted. Because I think, please let me do 4 rewatches.
4?
Yeah. I accidentally I don't know how I did it. Actually, I put 5 rewatches, but I'm going to skip one. I don't know how I did that.
What is
it? Pet Sematary. Have you seen Pet Sematary?
No.
Yeah. We need to watch it. Pet Sematary.
That's your 3rd rewatch.
No.
What's your 4th?
Scream.
I have Scream.
Yeah, okay.
So we're fine.
I figured it would be fine.
Pet Sematary is your 3rd rewatch.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it at all.
I love Pet Sematary.
Is it good? Am I going to like it?
No comment.
Okay. With pick number 24, I picked Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh.
Which is a Johnny Depp horror movie.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
It's like late 1700s actually. Another one that I've never seen. I don't think this is like a classic, like you have to watch this horror movie.
Yeah.
But it is. I believe it takes place on Halloween. Maybe they might call it All Hallows Eve because it's late 1700s. Right. But I was trying to get into some more like Halloween-y movies.
You said weenie.
You're so mature. So I picked Sleepy Hollow for pick number 24.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Good pick. Good pick.
And pick number 25?
The Fly.
Oh, I almost put that one on my list
Really?
too.
That's so funny.
Our
We're
list
like-
could have been
I know.
so similar.
I know. I was so worried.
And that would have caused so many issues.
I know.
But so far, I think we've only had two
Two,
movies.
yeah.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
The Fly.
Yeah.
Was pick number 25?
Yeah.
Yes. Pick number Why is this so
I
hard?
don't know. Oh, you should remember this number easily because it was just your birthday and you turned how old?
26.
Yeah.
Pick number 26 will go to my first rewatch, Scream. I just how can you not?
Okay, here's the thing about Scream. We're rewatching it on Halloween though.
Oh, we are?
Why not?
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that, I guess. Why not like Halloween on Halloween?
Because it's Scream.
Okay.
I think Scream is such, it's first of all, it's both of our favorites. Like
Yeah.
that movie means so much to me. We should watch it on the big night.
I'm
Halloween.
I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that Scream is always a Halloween movie for me.
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with Halloween. It doesn't take place in the fall. Like all the trees are very green.
Yeah.
It's like early summer.
Yeah.
School's about to be out, but it doesn't matter. It's
Halloween. Yeah.
Like it feels Halloween. I think Ghostface really makes it feel like
Mhm.
Halloween, especially because I've worn that costume for Halloween twice, and it's always so much fun to go as Ghostface.
Yeah.
So I think that probably is a little bit it for me.
Mhm.
There's a good chance I'm going to rewatch the entire Scream franchise this month.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I won't get any credit for it for our
right, because we've already
our
done
watches,
it. Yeah.
but whatever. It's Scream. It's my favorite horror movie franchise.
Yeah.
I-
It's happening.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Pick number 27.
I don't actually know how to say this. I know how to say it in theory, but I know I'm gonna try to say
Okay.
it, and I'm not gonna be able to. I know you know how to say it. The Amityville Horror.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay, 1979.
I literally almost picked this. I put it out. I put it on my backup list.
Yeah,
So,
look at that.
I also put The Fly on my backup list.
That's funny.
So, yeah. So, now I can't say
The
it.
Amityville Horror.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is, like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I don't know if these characters will be in Amityville Horror, but Ed and Lorraine Warren were at Amityville Horror in real life. And in The Conjuring they talk about it, but that was the big one before The Conjuring, and that's what made them stop doing like house visits basically, and just start going around and speaking in colleges. So I'm excited to see it just because I love The Conjuring so much.
Yeah, right.
And
you do.
I'll be curious to see if Ed and Lorraine are in it as characters,
Yeah.
or how much it's based off like the true events of what happened. I'm excited. Good
Okay.
pick.
Thank you.
I approve.
Thank you.
Pick number 28,
I don't know.
29, 30, 31. Yeah, that's right. We're on 28.
Okay.
And for 28, with my second rewatch, I picked Trick or Treat.
That was going to be my fifth one until I realized I had 5 rewatches. And
Look at that.
yeah,
How nice. How nice is
nicely that worked out. Yeah.
I just like, this movie is so Halloween.
I haven't seen it. I didn't watch it last year.
The only reason I picked this one and the next one is because they both just feel so much like an October Halloween movie.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the list is kind of lacking that.
Totally.
So I just like with the last 3, again, even though Scream is not a Halloween movie, it feels so Halloween.
Mhm.
I just picked this one and my next one to so that way we'll probably put these towards the end of the month, but that way we really get that Halloween
Yeah.
time during October.
Yeah.
So it's a good movie. It's not like my favorite movie. It's an anthology style movie. So there's like 3 mini stories in it.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah. Okay.
So pick number 29.
29. Okay. 29 will be my last two are kind of just like wild cards compared to what I have been doing. So let's do 29, The Village, 2004.
I hate this movie so
Do
much.
you?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
It's so bad.
Is it?
Yeah. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, oh yeah, that's right. We're watching it.
Okay.
Play.
Can I not and say I did?
No, you have to.
This movie is so bad.
Ooh, you're not gonna like my next one either, then too.
Hold up. Why do you get the 16th pick?
16th?
Why do you get to pick 16? What if I want to pick 16?
You had me go first. I told you to go first.
Okay, hold up. But you're watching The Village. You're making me watch The Village.
Yeah,
I should get
I
a
have
pick
one
the
more
next
pick.
two.
No. Is that how it works?
I don't know.
No, it's not how it works.
Fine. With my third rewatch and final pick, I picked Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I haven't seen that. I almost watched it the other day. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. And I don't know if you were paying attention, but I was. Never mind. Don't know what I'm saying. I was gonna say all three of my rewatches are movies that you've seen, but that's not true. I don't know why I thought that. That's because so what happened was I was thinking about
Only one of them. That's not even over half.
I know, okay? what I was
I don't know if you were paying attention, but
well, what I was gonna do is I was gonna pick 3 movies that you had seen for the rewatches that I had not to give me.
That's
And what I was thinking about is
you
how
picked all movies you've seen.
your rewatches were movies that I haven't seen, but movies that you've seen. So
Mine?
I was like, oh, so I get the bonuses there. But then I was like, oh, you get the bonuses for me too.
Yeah.
Which I think actually balances out.
Yeah.
So I get to pick the last one?
No.
Whatever.
Are you ready? The last one shall be Signs, 2002.
I'm fine with that.
Have you seen it?
A long, long time ago.
Oh, okay. If you're fine with it, then yeah.
Actually, so I recently told you that Saw might have been the first horror movie that I saw.
Yeah, that's right.
It might be Signs.
Saw might have been the first one that you saw.
Yeah, it might be Signs.
Okay.
They were all like sort of around the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was either Saw or Signs. I don't know why my dad would have let me watch Signs, but he did. I think it's because it's an alien movie.
Yeah,
and it's
it
like
is.
sci-fi and
Yeah.
for personally this could totally change when we watch Alien, but for me, sci-fi horror is just not as scary.
Oh my gosh.
Like
It has never freaked me out. But I told you, like, after I watched Annihilation, I don't know what it is. That movie altered my brain chemistry.
Really?
Like, I am scared out of my pants now of, like, alien, sci-fi, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know what it is. I just, like, can't handle it. Like, it makes me physically uncomfortable. That Annihilation, I don't know what it did to me. It's not even that scary.
no.
But it just, like, it messed with me. It made me funky in the head. I just can't handle alien anything now.
Well, you're the one who picked Signs.
I know.
You know what I would have picked?
What?
Halloween 4.
No.
Would have been better.
No.
Than The Village,
No.
at least.
No.
Okay, well, once you watch The Village, then you can agree with me.
Maybe I'll like The Village.
You won't.
I'm going to say his name
Name one
wrong.
M. Night Shyamalan movie that you
I can't
like.
say his name. M. Night Shyamalan.
Yep, name one.
Shyamalan. Name one that I like.
Yeah,
Dead.
that's Sam Raimi.
Oh. I don't know. Give me some examples.
Well, the only example I can think of that I know you've seen is Split, and that's not a good example.
I like Split.
Exactly. Because Split's considered one of his better movies.
It's fine. It's not my favorite. I don't like necessarily.
You need to watch Old. Have you seen that
don't
movie?
like no.
That movie's
I've
terrible.
heard that movie's terrible.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Split. It's a good movie. I don't like what it's about. Like, I think that it's just
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let me think. What is a movie of his that I like? I think I like most
Knock
of
at the
his that I've
Cabin.
seen. Oh yeah, I do like that one. It's again, it made me kind of mad.
Sure.
But let's see. Let's take a little look.
He made the precursor to Split. I think it's called Invincible or Unbroken.
He has not directed very many shows or movies.
No, he hasn't.
I thought he directed a ton.
Mm-mm.
He did The Visit and After Earth, The Happening, Unbreakable.
The I knew it was like a sports title.
I've only seen out of all of his
he
movies.
didn't do Signs? Did he do Signs?
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
Out of all his movies, I've only seen Split and Knock at the Cabin.
I think you've seen the two best.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard good things about Sixth Sense.
I've seen way more. Well, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the list.
Yeah.
I'm mostly happy with it. What are you least excited for?
Final Girls or whatever it's called.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You picked that one.
I know. I was just kind of like, it's about final girls. Like,
Okay.
I feel like Halloween is a final girls time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you least excited for?
The Village.
What are you most excited for?
What am I most excited for?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a much better question.
Yeah, it is.
I should have asked you that.
Loser.
What am I most excited for? I gotta look at my list again. Scream.
Really?
Of course. It's the best.
I love Scream.
I'm
so excited. You know why I love Scream? One of the reasons I love Scream, it makes me so giddy, is because I think that might be the first horror movie I ever watched with Parker, my boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, and you were there, I'm pretty sure, and we had a good time, and that was before him and I were dating, and it was just a sweet moment.
That's true.
I look back on that moment fondly because that was when it was just cute. It was just a cute little experience. One of my favorite movies, one of your favorite movies, and you're really good friends with Parker. You and I have always bonded over horror movies, but I feel like Scream was the first one that we really got to really, really watch together. And we sat and watched every single Scream movie in a week or something like that.
Yeah,
and
no, I totally agree. I mean, that was last year's 31 and 31. I feel like that was really when we connected over horror movies, because we had always knew that each other liked them and we had talked about them, but we had never really watched that many together. And last year when we started that's been the thing that we've done every time we've gone out of town. And I mean, we've watched probably 100+ horror movies since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's also around the time that we started getting really close and became besties for the resties.
So true. What am I most excited for? It might be Nosferatu.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm really excited for it.
I am too. I'm really excited for all the old classics. I think there's another one that I'm really excited about.
Frankenstein?
No, it's not really as classic as that. Let me pull up. It's from my list. I remember every time I think about the fact that I'm gonna watch it, it makes me happy. I don't remember what it is. I am. Oh, Salem's Lot. I'm very excited about Salem's Lot just because I like the book so much. And I love Stephen King. I go ham for Stephen King.
Very excited for Rosemary's Baby.
If I knew anything about it, I'm sure I would be more excited.
I wish I could get excited for Alien. I really do.
Same.
I just am not.
I'm excited about it, but again, I'm telling you, those sci-fi movies made me want to poop my pants. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to be excited for the movie. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm excited that I will have seen it, so that way I stop hearing, you haven't seen Alien? You're like the horror movie guy. You don't even know horror movies until you've seen Alien. Okay, I've seen probably 250 horror movies at least.
Right.
Like, chill.
Yeah,
okay?
totally.
Like,
you've seen way more than that. Are you kidding? You've done.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I've watched
like just this year
95
alone.
this year,
You've done
but
like
a lot of those
third
were
of that.
rewatches.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's
I forget
it's around
about rewatches.
There. It's around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could be excited for it, and I'm not. And I'm sure once I watch it, I'll love it because everyone loves it, and it's a great movie. It's one that's referenced in Scream, too.
I
right?
don't know. I don't recall.
Yeah. When they're talking about sequels, and somebody says Aliens, and they're like, "No, Aliens way better."
Oh, that's right.
Right?
I don't think
happens.
it's Alien. I think they're talking about something else.
Must be Terminator.
They're talking maybe. They're not talking about a horror movie at that part. They're talking about just
Yeah, it's Terminator.
No, they're talking about Star Wars. Aren't they?
No, they reference Star Wars later. But they're talking about Terminator. Because he says Terminator 2, and then Randy's like, there's an exception to every rule.
Yes, that's right.
But I'm excited for the list. I think it's a good list.
Yeah.
I'm excited to do weekly episodes for a little bit and get back into it. I'm excited for our set and our lava lamp.
Look how cool it is.
It looks so good. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. Fun being back.
It is. It's a good time.
Thanks so much for joining us. Join us on our 31 and 31.
Yeah.
Check out our list. The list of the order that we will watch them will be on our Letterboxd accounts. We'll probably post a link to that on our socials as well. But join us, watch along. It should make the episodes a little more fun. And it's October.
Yeah.
You gotta do the thing.
Have a spooky old time.
Watch 31 movies in 31 days.
Yeah.
It's fun. It'll put me. Well, you're already over 100. I was about to say it'll put us both over 100 movies for the year. That's crazy.
I know, isn't it? It's no 297, which is what my goal was, but
I remember that. Yeah, that was a lot.
I know.
But yeah. Anyways, we're just rambling at this point.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. Missed you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Slay.